Good evening, I'm Dr. Oculus, and this is my desk. We're here to look at my desk today. Let's review it. This is white. It has a hair on it. It does also contain this, the VR accessory from AMVR. This is the Quest 2 game accessory. This product does not contain a controller. Worth knowing. VR game accessories for Quest 2. Now, the accessories in question... Oh, it got a bit smushed in transit. Is something that I have once 3D printed. Those of you who have seen my socials probably know what that is. But we need to get in this, and so for that we need a stabby tool. Here's one I stole from a Boy Scout earlier. So, pop that on one side for me to slip myself on later. And let's open it up and see what's inside. Ah, okay. Some bubble plastic. Oh, they are actually really nice. So, like with all AMVR products, we don't need this box right now. We get the, were you happy? Were you unhappy? Tell us. If you were unhappy, and if you were happy, tell us on Amazon or friends and family. I'm telling friends and family right now. You're all my friends. You're all my family. So yeah, this is the product in question. It's essentially a pistol grip for the Oculus Quest controllers, which have some very interesting elements to them that I was not quite prepared for, if I'm honest. We'll come back to those in a second. Now, this does leave me with a very difficult decision, because I rather like the grips that I have on my controllers. They make it all nice and schmexy and grippy, and now I have to take them off. Let's get rid of the out with the old and in with the new. So let's take a look at these. It's got a hole for the wrist straps. Always good. Always good. You have to use the wrist straps unless you don't use the wrist straps. In which case, don't use the wrist straps, but then do so at your own peril. Alright, so that's in there like so. Simple enough. My hands are covered in paint. It is paint, I promise. It doesn't click or anything. So, there's no like confirmation as such, but then we have these two bits. So these feel they feel kind of like, you know, the Transformers you used to play with as a kid, or last week. Yeah, these feel actually quite sturdy and robust. These feel kind of weighted, actually, if I'm honest. But then we have these bits, and then the grips, the actual unit itself. So, right, let's go ahead and chuck one of these on here. Now this, presumably, there we go. So that still not locking this down. And then this top part is locking that down. So there we go. Now we have our first pistol set up, and then we'll do the same again. So these two pieces coming in separate presumably is for one of two reasons. Either A, so you can adjust the weight on this. This is behind my head, I'm sorry. Let's maneuver this. Yeah, so presumably this is the way this is, so you can add extra weight or remove weight. I don't know if there are other options available. Or maybe it's for transport. I don't know. But that's then locking the controller in place, so that's not going anywhere, which is nice. Now that actually feels quite substantial. They are two very, very nice, very well presented attachments. Certainly better than the one I 3D printed. I feel like a wrist strap is a very, very good idea because of the additional weight to these. It's going to make all of the difference. We have, obviously, the very, very pointless sights on there. And then this is to... right, okay, so this is to take this attachment off. So this is not going anywhere. Because one of my first thoughts is, if I'm playing something like Pistol Whip with this, that I'm going to be whipping it about, and if that was going to slide off, that would be an issue, but that looks like that's not going to be an issue. And then this just slides right out, leaving this as so. So I definitely can't use my other grips. Like, you know, instant downside is that I'm going to have to constantly build and deconstruct these if I want to use other products with them. Unless, of course, AMVR do have other products that will, you know, like, say this turns into a table tennis bat or something like that if we were to deconstruct it. I don't know how that would turn into a table tennis racket, if I'm honest, but, you know, there you go. Install the gun frame. Yeah, I mean, I did all of this even without reading the instructions, which just goes to show how incredibly simple the entire process is. Store in a cool, dry place. Do not throw to avoid damage. Do not disassemble, modify by yourself. Get adult supervision to disassemble it. I don't know. So, yeah, first thoughts. Definitely a sturdy weight, like a nice weighty feel to them. Definitely got that sort of impression. If you are gonna be jumping between shooting things and I don't know, Vermilion or Cubism or something like that, the ability to quickly get this on and off is absolutely superb. This is great. Like, it very quickly goes from this is a gun to this is a controller in like 2 seconds flat. So that's good. That is very, very good. The the weight of it, because of this section, it feels like a very good substantial piece of kit, as opposed to a thing that you 3D printed, took a couple of pictures of, and then one time when you were in VR, you did that and the top end fell off. I was learning 3D printing at the time, and I was too lazy to reprint them since. So yeah, it's definitely got that. And then, of course, there is just the sheer coolness factor of this. Like, you are going to feel like a badass. I'm trying to think. I'm stood here thinking of games that I want to play with this. Part of me wants to say After the Fall, because, you know, new update, very good, very fun game. And I can do it pistols only, so that's fine. Pistol Whip, I only ever play with one pistol. Is there a 2-pistol mode to that game? Maybe I'll check out Pistol Whip as well. And yeah, we'll look into that. I'm gonna go ahead, fire the Quest up, take off some clothing because it's warm already, and yeah, see you in a minute. I bring you death. So I went away and put these things through their absolute paces. We did a bit of Beat Blaster. Makes you feel like an absolute badass. Did arcade. Okay, so they are absolutely adding to this experience, admittedly, only using one gun, which is less fun. Zombieland. That's nice. That's so nice. Really, really does add to that. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Swarm. I flew too close to the sun. pistol whipped. I was so tempted. So many different games I wanted to try. Guns and Stories, also very, very suited for these kinds of things. I didn't end up doing After the Fall because A, I always end up getting lost in that game and spending hours in there. I don't have hours. And B, whilst they are fantastic when you are dual wielding, I don't know. It was mostly the time thing, to be fair. But I have to say, my time with these was absolutely very, very well spent. And even a game like Arcade, where I only used one, still really didn't matter that much. It was still very, very good, very, very functional. They do feel very, very robust, and these absolutely make you feel like a complete badass. Whilst they don't need to be gun-shaped, the added weight, the way it distributes it across the controller, means it is very, very nice, very realistic feeling, which is a fantastic feature, which sets them apart from just, strapping weights to your controllers. Playing pistol whipped, and it was going absolutely fantastically. At no point was I afraid that I was going to lose an end and break my nice big fancy telly or anything like that. All in all, my experience with these has been nothing but superb. So something me and the VR Souls guys always said that if you're big into an element of a thing, then buy stuff that makes it better for you. And if you're big into shooters and stuff like this, you should totally buy these. If you're big into racing games, buy a steering wheel. If you're big into, other stuff, buy the periphery, because you're going to use it. Like, the peripherals they're going to be good for you. And this is absolutely fantastic for what I've just done on Pistol Whipped. Superb on Swarm. It was great on the Zombieland. Like, Arcade, yeah, superb. Beat Blaster, like, all of it. These really, really, really work well in areas where you have two guns. Areas where you're going for one gun, it's going to be a bit weird and off, although still doable. But yeah, I'm absolutely a massive fan. So thank you very much, AMVR, for whipping me a pair of your wonderful pistol grips for the Oculus Quest. There is a link to them below. I'll try and leave links for every country. I'm in the UK. They're not affiliated. I don't get anything if you use them. They're just purely there for your own purchasing needs. Okay, thank you very much for watching. The Doctor is out.